you thought about what animals you want to be if you don't make it?
A lobster.
I'm going to be a parrot if I don't make it. Why don't you become parrots too? And then we'll all be together.
You're a complete idiot. Picking one of the few animals that can talk when you have a speech impediment. You'll lisp, even as an animal. As for you, they'll catch you and put you in a pot of boiling water until you die. And then they'll crack open your claws with a tool, like pliers, and they'll suck out what little flesh you have with their mouths. You're pathetic, both of you. I'm not going to be turned into some animal. I'll come and visit you, though, with my partner. When we're walking together in some park, or when we're swimming in the sea, or when we're on one of our trips.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. New to DVD just yesterday is The Lobster, the new film by Yorgos Lanthimos, an English language feature from this Greek director. And I like the film very much. I actually think the first half of it works better than the second half. It's set for the first half in a hotel where people, singletons, have to go to find a partner. And if they can't find a partner who suits them, they are going to be turned into an animal of their choice. In the case of Colin Farrell's character, he's chosen to be turned into a lobster if he can't find a partner. And the second half of the film takes place outside the hotel. It's slightly less certain, but the film's very interesting. It's satirical and dark and strangely funny and a little bit creepy, and I recommend that you check it out. But also, let me encourage you to check out something else from Lanthimos' back catalogue, a film some of you may have seen before called Dogtooth, which was a real breakthrough feature for Yorgos Lanthimos. It's, again, a strange, dark, satirical tale about a family growing up essentially within a walled compound in which the mother and father have kept the children completely safe and cut off from the outside world. They've convinced them that aeroplanes are actually tiny little things. They're not far away, they're just very, very small. They've convinced them that somehow fish grow in swimming pools and that cats eat people.
Ο αδερφός σας πέθανε. Ένα πλάσμα σαν αυτό που εισέβαλε σήμερα στον κήπο τον διαμέλισε. Το ζώο που μας απειλεί λέγεται γάτα. Είναι το πιο επικίνδυνο ζώο που υπάρχει.
It's a film about children brought up in a world which is completely protected but also twisted and strange, and to some extent it's a satire on the idea of homeschooling and homeland security. It also, whilst I was watching it recently, made me think about movies like Room, another film in which a child has a totally insular view of what the world outside could be. Or do you remember that documentary recently, The Wolf Pack, about a family that essentially were living their lives behind closed doors because the father had decided to shut them off from the outside world because he was worried about the influences of the outside world? Well, in the Lanthimos film, those influences finally start to arrive and have a disruptive influence through movies, through things like Jaws and Flashdance and Rocky IV, which I thought was an amazingly satirical point and chimed very, very nicely with the Wolfpack. Lanthimos was asked a couple of times what he thought Dogtooth was about, and he said very clearly, look, I don't want to explain it. If I wanted to make statements about social problems and politics, then I would have become a writer. I'm a filmmaker, it's all I can do. However, people have noted obvious similarities with the work of people like Buñuel. Although again, Lanthimos himself said, well, actually I'm influenced by Cassavetes and Bresson, which may well be him just deliberately trying to put people off the scent. When the film came out, it was very, very well received. One Greek critic said that it was as important in the evolution of Greek cinema as Theo Angelopoulos' Reconstruction. It also went head-to-head with films like Beautiful and In a Better World in the foreign language film category at the Oscars, a category which, incidentally, if you're a regular here, you'll know, remains, let's say, controversial. I really like Dogtooth. It has become something of a cult classic. So, my advice is this: definitely check out The Lobster on DVD. It's strange and satirical and funny, and it has a wonderful performance by Olivia Colman. But whilst you're about it, check out Dogtooth. I mean, it really is one of those films that's grown in stature over the years, and that strange, creepy, extreme cinema feel that it had when it first came out hasn't got any less easy with the passing of those years. It's a dark gem.